Hey, Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Kahak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right. This video is just going to be a quick reminder video. I titled this video, Be Careful Hanging Out, Fellowshipping with Jake in the World. Okay, be careful, man, to not get sucked into that peer pressure and that influence to the point to where you're hanging out with worldly individuals. Okay, because you're little do you know you're risking a lot by hanging out with people in the world, man. Okay, when you first come into this truth, okay, it takes a minute. Honestly, it takes a good while until you finally create that ultimate detachment from worldly people. Okay, some people might take them a year. Some people takes them a couple years, but more than likely when you first come into the truth, you still gonna have, that care for worldly individuals that you once knew, or you still might feel that peer pressure to hang out with the old colleagues, that you knew from back in the day, right? Because niggas will sit there and make you feel like, you're a weirdo now because you don't want to hang out with them because they don't serve the Lord. And let me hold this scripture, same excess of right. We're just going to hold this, all right, because this is talking about this is going into what I'm talking about, okay? But, Jacob, when you first come into the truth, right, that's when the Lord starts to expose you who the real and who the fake is. And then you come to find out that everybody you knew in the world was fake and they all wicked. And your real family are the Akims, those that, are like-minded, okay? Those that believe in the Lord and serve the Lord fervently. You come to realize that, man, that's really all I can, that's the only company I can keep, right? So, this is when you first come into the truth, right? Where you're still battling that, and you might be running back and forth still. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it might be a year or for them couple years. First 2-3 years, you still kind of got that urge to run back. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me go see what they up to. Man, I ain't seen my homeboy in a minute, man. Ever since I came into the truth, we used to kick it every day and hang out. Man, let me see what he been up to. You know what I mean? Maybe he changed because you're changing, you're evolving. So you try to give the individual that you knew in the world, you try to give them the benefit of the doubt, and you know what I'm saying, and maybe they're changing, right? And then you go your ass right over there and go snoop around in that business, and you come to find out that Jake is not going to change, okay? That same Jake that you knew before you came into the truth, he's going to remain that because he doesn't have the understanding of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, okay? He doesn't have the understanding to repent. Or, this goes for females too, okay? Because, I know a lot of sisters in the truth. I'm pretty sure you deal with this, all right? But that person that you once knew when you was in the world doesn't have the, they don't have the willingness to repent. They can't see outside of themselves. You know what I'm saying? So therefore they won't evolve. All right. If you was smoking weed on the front porch with the nigga before you came into the truth, guess what? Guess what that person gonna be doing? All right. The deeper you get into the truth and you try to look back and see what they up to, they still on that same shit. Right. And it may not be in the same environment. Right. The nigga went from, okay, now you used to smoke on the porch with him. Okay. But now he went from the porch to now he's smoking in his vehicle. Right. And you like, damn, you still doing the same shit, just in a different way. right? Because they don't change, man. Okay. And you got to be careful, looking back for Jake in the world, thinking that, okay, let me see what they up to. Okay. Maybe they change. Maybe this, you know what I mean? Because, you're really risking a lot more than what you understand, man. All right. Jake in the world, okay, they got demons on them. Okay. You could be around that person and the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai inside of you, because now you're in tune with the spirit. You know what I'm saying? You see things different. You talk different. You're more calm. You're not as anxious. You know what I'm saying? You're careful with your words. The demon inside of Jake, that could rub him the wrong way, and y'all get into it. You watching the nigga do wickedness in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And when you kind of still fresh in the truth, right? Yeah, you still got that pit bull spirit. You know what I'm saying? You see somebody doing wickedness, you snap on it right away. You know what I'm saying? You might not be seasoned yet to just understand, like, okay, well, this nigga wicked, and I'm not, just let this nigga do what he got to do. You know what I mean? I'm not going to try to tell the nigga how to live his life, or, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to try to convince this nigga of, what I know. Hey, more than likely he a 2/3. You kind of get that understanding when you get, more seasoned, that you can't really help these people. You know what I mean? But, every once in a while, you'll be tempted to get back and see what the niggas in the world that, you left, you see what they up to. Okay. So, be very careful hanging out with these Jakes in the world, man. Okay. In my personal opinion, don't do it, and don't feel sorry about it. Okay. Don't let them make you feel guilty. We don't see you anymore, my nigga. What happened, man? Or, like I said, some of you sisters out there. Okay. Especially you sisters, because, the world is really trying to pull females in a certain direction. It's a heavy enchantment time placed upon the Israelite female. So, a woman coming into the truth, man, Satan is going to come at her from all angles and try to get her back on the goddamn stripper pole, or get her back into that hot girl summer mindset, right? So you really got to be careful. And when you hang out with these worldly people, right, you know what I'm saying, you're opening up a doorway for Satan to scramble shit, okay, and kind of set you back on your program, because they're in the world. They don't have a program according to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. They just live their life willy-nilly, and they don't respect what you do for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. So, their program is going to interfere with yours, man. It's just best to kind of stay clear of Jake in the world, man. All right. Straight up. We ain't in the time really to be getting caught up with they madness. And then, a lot of these niggas, they be caught up in all sorts of little dramas that they won't even tell you about. Somebody looking for them to kill them. You know what I'm saying? They done ran off on somebody. They owe people money. People looking for them. You be riding in the car with the nigga, and, you don't even know that, somebody following y'all or something like that. You just think, I'm hanging out with the homie. There's somebody following y'all because this nigga been doing some wicked ass shit, okay, since the last time you seen him, all right, creating enemies. You just never know, man, all right? So, I just wanted to make this video as a reminder, man. Hey, be careful hanging out with these Jakes, and fellowshipping with them, man. Okay, you're risking a lot more than what you know, man. So let me get this real quick. This is 1 Peter 4:4. All right, it says, wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. Okay, speaking evil. All right. So this is when, when you now that we in the truth, okay, and people that knew us in the world, all right, they see the spirit that you have, upon you, okay? And they know something's different about you, you know what I'm saying? And ultimately what it is people notice that your habits are different. The blunt gets sparked up and you ain't jumping like how you used to. You ain't, oh, let me hit that. You kind of looking at it like that shit wicked. You know what I'm saying? You judging everything with your eyes, man. Trust me, people can see that. I used to think nobody could see me judging the people, you know what I'm saying? Because I be trying to keep that shit under wraps so I don't spark a demon inside of niggas, right? But apparently I guess I just got that type of presence, and I got them type of eyes to where it's like, even if I don't try, niggas just, with me, niggas just be on defense because they know I'm judging everything, right? So when it says they think it's strange that you don't run to the same excess of riot, right? People in the world, they're gonna think that you're strange, okay? Because you're not willing to involve yourself in that that wicked ass shit that they be on. Okay, let me get that in a let me get that word riot. Okay, let's get that word riot, man. Where is it at? 1 Peter 4:4. Let's get that word riot, man. All right. Okay, riot. Right. An abandoned, dissolute life. Right. Okay, riot. Let's try that in etymology. Okay. All right, riot. Debauchery. Okay, this is the etymology. Debauchery, extravagance, wanton living. What does the word debauchery mean? Okay, that's a good word that we want to tap into right there, man. Okay. All right, these people, they in the world, Jake is gonna have a problem with you because you don't get into that bullshit. All right, you ain't interested in that, and you ain't interested in that folly no more. Okay. Debauchery is the habitual and excessive indulgence in sensual pleasures, particularly involving alcohol, drugs, or sexual immorality. That's niggas in the world all day, man. That's all they talk about, really. This is all niggas talk about, okay? And because you're not doing this anymore, okay, hey, a lot of Jakes is gonna have a problem with you, man. And that's just how it is. And even if they don't tell you, right? Even if they play it off like it's cool and hey, that's just what you do. You don't get into it. Hey, that's what's up. But then they doing it right in front of you, right? And then, you looking at them, kind of like they tripping. They feel cornered, right? And then that's when a demon, now this nigga, he feel like he got to prove himself to you. And now he trying to challenge your authority. It gets real weird and bugged out, man. And any of you brothers, okay, that experience what I'm saying, you know what I'm talking about. All right. And a lot of brothers that are seasoned, that's been in this truth for a minute. A lot of us, we didn't got to the point to where, that old little what could I say, urge to look back and to go hang out with a nigga in the world. A lot of us, we didn't defeated that shit years ago. Me personally, I'm like, I'm not even, I really don't even want niggas calling me, you know what I'm saying? If it ain't brothers or if it ain't like my immediate family members that I need to talk to, I don't want no niggas calling me. I'm not trying to hang out with you. Okay, no, niggas be finding out, because, me and the brothers, brothers in my camp, brothers that, I'm close with, you know what I'm saying? We might go out somewhere, go watch the fights, little boxing matches and stuff like that. And, somehow a nigga find out, nigga in the world will find out and be like, hey, my nigga, invite me, bro. How come you don't be telling me that you be going out? I'm trying to go with you, and I'm like, nigga, I ain't taking you with me. Okay, I'm not about to be out in public with you doing nothing, man, because you gonna get me into some bullshit. Or you just gonna be talking about bullshit. You gonna waste my goddamn time. Okay, I'm gonna be spending extra money because niggas always got some shenanigans they got going on. Okay, that's why you got to be careful, because you don't know what type of shenanigans these niggas got going on, man. Okay, and that shit can seriously affect your walk. It could affect your life. It could set you back a week. You know what I'm saying? You link up with these Jakes in the world, you end up spending a lot more money than what you supposed to, and now the rest of your couple days is kind of offset dealing with these niggas. Okay, so don't fall for that peer pressure, and really be unapologetic about not hanging out with niggas. I'll say that. Okay, be unapologetic. Don't feel guilty. Okay, because the scriptures back it up right here. Ephesians 5:11. And have no fellowship. Let's get that word fellowship. Okay, fellowship. What does that word mean? Friendly association, especially with people who share one's interests. You don't share no interest with niggas in the world no more. You don't share no interest with your old colleagues, Jake, in the world. Okay, all right. You share interest with those that believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Make that your friend group. Okay, become best friends with the close brothers that are around you. Okay, don't get weak. Don't get desperate for some sort of companionship and just, let me go, man. I ain't got nobody to hang out with, man. Let me just hang out with, just a couple niggas that I met at the bar, man. And, hey, they invited me to go out with them this weekend. Let's see what they about, you know what I mean? Hey, man, be careful of that, man. All right? Some brothers might be able to pull it off. Seasoned brothers might be able to pull it off, you know what I'm saying? And maybe, link up with a nigga that they know from in the world, every blue moon, right? But number one, those brothers are seasoned to do that, and number two, I guarantee you, them brothers who do that, okay, it's a very get in, get out situation, right? It ain't no lingering, it ain't nothing more than that. You know what I'm saying? So overall fellowship, okay. Overall, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I wouldn't do it, man. All right. It's not going to be profitable for you ultimately. All right. It says, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful, right? Jake in the world is unfruitful. They not doing anything with their life, man. All right. Like I said, the nigga is on the same shit. Okay. That bitch, whoever you used to hang out with, she's on the same shit. Niggas in the world is on the same shit. They 2/3, okay? This is why the Lord is going to destroy them, all right? Because they don't evolve, okay? Right? They're actually getting worse. So if you try to double back and try to go, okay, what you up to now, man? Especially you try to go back and, okay, maybe they ready to listen to the truth. You try that shit, man, okay? Hey, man, it's a big chance it's gonna backfire on you, man. Okay, straight up. It says works with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. Okay. 2 Corinthians 6:14. Be ye not unequally yoked, all right, together with unbelievers. Period, point blank. Okay, Jake in the world is an unbeliever. All right. And when you're around unbelievers, when you're around people that don't believe and you're hanging out with them, having fellowship with them, understand that their lifestyle is completely contrary to yours. All right. So, they're going to be doing shit right next to you. Okay. Nigga might just straight up commit adultery right in front of you. Right. Nigga just straight up a pepperoni pizza. You know what I'm saying? You talking to him, and this nigga got a blunt in his hand talking to you, right? They're unbelievers, man. Okay, they don't live by the same code, man. Okay, so the only thing they could really bring to you is a demon. All right, this is why it's best to stay clear of them, man. All right, you want companionship, you want to you want to feel like let me hang on, Akim. You want to feel like, you want to feel like, what can I say? You want to be vulnerable and be around a friend. link up with believers, man. Link up with those that believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, because it's clean energy, it's understanding, it's not all of them goddamn petty ass emotions. And that's another thing about niggas in the world. They petty, okay? They petty. All right, a lot of passive aggressive punk ass shit that niggas, niggas that do, right? They not straight up. See, in the truth, that's one thing I love about the truth, right? And the the men, and the women that's a part of this truth, man. We're all straight up with each other, man. Okay, ain't no passive aggressive little faggot sideways shit, nigga. Do some petty shit to you, because of some shit you said to him 2 days ago. Nah, we're straight up to each other, man. If there's an issue, a conflict, let's settle that right now, right, and move forward, all right, as a unit. That's not how the world operates, because they're unbelievers, man. All right, so you could be hanging out with a Jake in the world. You don't even know you pissed this nigga off, and you don't even know he plotting against you because he got Satan on him. All right, this is real stuff, man. I'm not making this up. I'm not saying this to be over exaggerate. No, this is real stuff. I've dealt with it. Brothers I know that have dealt with it. All right, trying to give a nigga in the world a chance. It's usually not a good idea, man. And even if the worst case scenario doesn't happen, most of the time hanging out with niggas, most of the time you just gonna waste your goddamn time, man. All right, you gonna waste your time sitting there. This nigga trying to tell you about the Dodger game. You don't give a fuck about that. Your mind is on prophecy, okay, if you locked into the truth, all right? It says, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? Yeah, what are we really doing with niggas? You hanging out with them, like, what are we doing? They not talking about nothing, all right? They not really up to nothing, okay? They're not trying to evolve and upgrade themselves. They think they are, right? But then you listening to the nigga, his little plans and his dreams, and it's like, dude, you don't even know that, America is getting ready to be destroyed, man. You know what I mean? And you still trying to tell me that about this mixtape that you finna drop, man. So it's like, what fellowship do we have really with them? That we have nothing to really. I mean, you could talk about surface level things, but eventually, you're gonna get drained of that, because it's like you're gonna crave the truth, right? Brothers, man, that's all we talk about. We just talk about the truth all day. We can talk about it all day. It's the truth, right? Talk about the Lord, talk about scriptures, right? And if we not talking about that, all right, we cracking jokes in the truth. It's all predicated to the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? But niggas in the world, man, they don't understand that, all right? They're not a part of the club, all right? So it's best to leave them out of the club, man. All right, and don't try to force them in. It says, in what communion have light with darkness? Now, let me get this last one right here, man. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus, all right, 27:12. It says, if thou be among the indiscreet, let's get that word indiscreet, because these niggas is indiscreet, man. All right, indiscreet. Hang on. Okay, if you be around the indiscreet, this is what it's saying, okay? Here we go. Goddamn, my bad. Definition. Okay. Indiscreet describes someone lacking good judgment, prudence, or tact, often revealing secrets, acting inappropriately, or causing embarrassment through careless speech or actions. Okay. This is Jake in the world. Okay. This is all you're gonna get. Okay. Trying to hang out with carnal people that have not repented, that have not put off them lusts, that don't believe in the Lord. Now, I will say this. I'm not going to say all Jakes are completely degenerate that are in the world. There are some Jakes, right, that is like, okay, he not in the truth, but he cool. You know what I'm saying? He's the best of the worst. He's not a complete nigga, right? He's the best of the worst. But the thing is, here's the thing. He don't believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So there's always going to be some element of wickedness that, is going to clash with your walk. Okay. They got that indiscreet in them. Okay. So it says right here, if thou be among the indiscreet, observe the time. Okay. Keep an eye on the clock. All right. Limit that time. Okay. All right. Because the longer you linger around Jake in the world, all right, it just gets wicked and more wicked, and they start revealing and their secrets. And, then you find out at the end of the day, this nigga been plotting on you. You know what I'm saying? You like, God damn, this nigga, you know? But that's what you get when you deal with Jake in the world, man. So it's best to observe the time, keep an eye on that clock, limit that interaction time, man. Okay. It says, but be continually among men of understanding. Okay. Those that believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai like you do. Be continually among those people. Okay. Because that's what's going to make you better, man. Okay. That's what's going to make you better. All right. Don't try to, turn a filthy situation, all right, with Jake in the world into something good, right? Because, okay, well, I know the truth, so I could kind of switch the environment into something righteous. No, it's not gonna work like that, man. All right, it's not gonna work like that, bro. Okay, it's best to just stay the hell away from them type of people, man, to the best of your ability. Now, I will say that, hey, some situations are inevitable. You know what I mean? You might have to go to like a family event there in the world, right? You might have to be in certain situations that require you to be around worldly individuals and, hang around them, okay, for a certain period of time. Right. But if it pans out like that to where it's like, OK, I ain't really got no choice, then you already know to be circumspect and to be wise. But me personally, my advice, I wouldn't be going out my personal way to be hanging out with no nigga in the world. You know what I mean? Especially as close as we are, we got to be locked in, man. And we got to be unapologetic about it, too. OK, straight up. Be unapologetic. I made a video a couple weeks ago. Be selfish when chasing your salvation, right? Be unapologetic about chasing your salvation and putting the Lord first, all right? When it comes down to these niggas in the world, okay? Yeah, they gonna feel some type of way that you ain't the same, but hey, man, ultimately fuck them, okay? Because at the end of the day, what are they doing? They want you to come back to that same cesspool of madness that don't even make no goddamn sense, right? And it's just gonna get you destroyed. The Lord is gonna deal with you, right? The Lord is gonna really jack you up because it's like, look, you know better. I didn't give them the truth. I gave you the truth, and you sitting here hanging out with them. So I'm gonna punish you, and I'm gonna I'm gonna do something to you before I do something to them, right? So you taking a risk all across the board. And like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. My personal advice is to not even hang out with niggas, man. Okay, only hang out with the brethren. Only hang out with the Akwath. Okay. For you sisters out there, only hang around like-minded individuals. And if you don't have that opportunity to hang around like-minded individuals because of your location or whatever, hey, man, it's best to just learn how to be alone, man. I mean, you can have acquaintances and you can have people you dip in and out with because, social interactions are inevitable. All right. I'd be a lie to sit there and say because you don't have access to like-minded individuals in person, right? That, just don't talk to nobody. Be a hermit. Be a house crab. No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, social interactions are inevitable, but dip in and out, right? Don't get desperate and be like, I ain't got no friends and I believe in the Lord, so fuck it. I need some type of homie. And now you going to the bar with a nigga, you know what I'm saying? Now you hanging out on the weekends with a nigga. Man, that'll get you caught up in all types of shit. It's best to just be alone if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? Just be alone, all right? And pray to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai that the Lord gives you, some type of opportunity to fellowship with like-minded individuals, man, all right? You know what I'm saying? Pray, okay? But ultimately, hey, if you got to, be alone. That might be your test, right? You might have been somebody in the world that you were so used to a friend group and having all of them damn friends, right? So, one of your first tests is now, okay, learn to be alone. You might have to grind it out for that season, right? A lot of the things that the Lord put us through, it be for seasons. It's not forever. It be for seasons. Might be alone, might not have no friends, right? Because you decide to only lock into your how about Shem Shai and not deal with no niggas in the world, man. And you might have to be alone for a minute, and that's okay. All right, embrace that, because trust me, being, getting desperate and just just saying fuck it, I'm gonna hang out with niggas in the world because I'm bored, man. Hey, look, man, it's gonna do you more harm than good, man. In some area, it's gonna be an inconvenience for you because they live contrary lives. They got demons on them, man. Okay. And you could possibly piss the Lord off by you basically doing secondhand folly with them. You ain't doing it per se, but you're around it. You're so close to it that it's almost like, are you involved or what? You know what I'm saying? So you could tempt the Lord and the Lord could jack you up. It's just best to stay the fuck away from them, man. All right, they ain't up to shit anyways. The world is whack as hell. They ain't talking about nothing. Niggas still talking about the NBA playoffs. He's a loser. He's a clown. Okay, and this is the Lord is getting ready to put these same individuals to the grinder, man. All right, because they wicked. Okay, so with that, I'll go ahead and wrap it up and give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Shalom, shalom.